All right, as we continue hanging out here on Radio Row, whatever day this is, I think it's Wednesday, hanging out with Marcus Harper II. Is it the second or junior?
Marcus Harper II. Yeah, yeah. You want to get technical? I should be a junior, but my dad was like, "You're a second. I'm a second."
Okay, you're a second.
Yeah.
So do you have the 2 on the back of the jersey?
Yes,
Very cool.
Yeah.
You know, I know this is probably not the first question I should ask you, but the first thing that people think of Oregon is Nike.
Yes.
So talk about, my son's like, "Oh, we should go to Oregon. Everything's Oregon. Everything's Oregon."
Yeah.
Talk about that, because it had to be part of, not major, but part of the reason that athletes go there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big selling point for sure. You know, obviously people talk about like the partnerships that you have and the potential that you have to, you know, be under that Nike umbrella. I mean, and it's nice too. But I mean, the family atmosphere that Oregon kind of gives off is an additive to Nike. Because I mean, there's only so much Nike can really do, you know, in terms of like what they can give out. You know, they give out a bunch of gear and things like that. And I think guys are, I would say, blinded by like the gear that you get, which is fine. But after that, it's it's the family appeal is what drew me over there. So
and it's not just the guys. I mean, I've had the opportunity to go to the university, and you go into that store, and it's like We had Rashad Evans on earlier.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Rashad, and if you're UFC. I've covered the UFC longer than anybody, and blah 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 blah. We went there, and he had like 42 shopping carts.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you kind of get overwhelmed.
Yes.
So it's not just you guys; it's everybody.
Yeah, and it's nice. Again, when I first got there, it was for sure. It was like it's overwhelming because it's like, oh my goodness, every literal thing is like Oregon. From the I'm trying to think, from the small school store things, pens, you know, everything is just ducked out with everything. It's nice, but I mean, after that, you kind of get past the fluff and stuff. It's like, okay, football, you know, let's lock it in.
What was it like playing at Oregon? You know, it's one of the top schools. It's known. You know, the football program. It is what it is.
Yeah. It's crazy because I saw like the transformation to what it has become to now. When I first got there in 2020 with Mario Cristobal, it had the potential to be that, but you know, we could just never kind of get over that hump. And when I got there, kind of gladly, I wasn't playing in my first 2 years. And then afterwards, when Coach Landon came, that transition, he made that transition from Georgia. It was like it was just a different vibe about Oregon. Like people always just kind of just gave us the tag of like, oh, it's Nike, Oregon, Flash, everything.
Right.
But I think, you know, Landon put a different spin on it and made guys like kind of respect us a little bit more for, okay, yes, we can be flashy, but we gonna whoop your ass in the process too.
Sure.
You know, and I think that's a little bit of that SEC that he came from, playing at, you know, coaching at Georgia and then coaching at Bama underneath Coach Kirby Smart and Coach Nick Saban. So
never heard of either one of them.
So I mean, he brought some of that swagger and that, you know, that tough nose football out to, you know, the West Coast, and I mean, it paid dividends for sure.
With the way time flies, so I don't know, was Micah Pittman there? Were you there with Micah?
Yeah, so Micah was there. I think he played. So he was there my true freshman year during COVID, and I think he maybe stayed a year and a half afterward before he left and went to Florida State. So yeah, I know Micah very well.
Mike and I are very close friends. I used to host Mike's radio show and all that kind of stuff. What is it like when you go into an opposing, you know, field?
Yeah.
And again, it's, you know, Bama, it's Georgia, it's Oregon, it's Washington, it's Notre Dame. It's when those schools go into a program.
Yeah.
Some players love that. You know, being hated and, you know.
Yeah, I like it. I'm actually one of those guys that like being hated. I'm gonna be honest with you. Not saying that Alton doesn't do it any justice, but there's something about going in another man's space, beating his tail, and then getting up out of there very quickly. I think my first taste of it was I didn't play in this game, but when we played Ohio State in 21. That was my first taste of it. It was C.J. Stroud was there. I think it was maybe his first year starting or something like that. And Verone McKinley just, you know, picked out the ball to kind of seal the game. And it was pretty cool to see him go from, you know, not being known going into the season to being known so quickly. And, yeah, that was a very, very I like going to away games. Michigan this past year, we went into Michigan, the big house. And I remember vividly Landon was like, yeah, we're going to come in here. And we're going to, you know, call a timeout towards the end of the game, and we're going to, you know, you just watch everyone leave. And, I mean, we did that. So I like some about going into another man's crib and, you know, doing that.
That's got to be the absolute best when you see them leaving and you know, and they know.
And they know, too, it sparks a different feeling to you, and you love it. You love it for sure.
I guess next on your docket, combine, getting ready for the next level. What's the preparation? What do you have to do to get prepared?
Yeah, kind of just do what I've always been doing, just dominate in a controlled manner. But instead of me preparing for like spring ball, I'm preparing to run like a 40 or do a 20-yard dash, vertical jump. Which, I mean, for me, I'm naturally athletic, so it's not too gruesome, but it's very tedious when you talk about like the technique of, okay, you being able to like extend your arm and touch the line can shave off point, oh 02 of a second, So it's very tedious, and it's things that they're so foreign to what I do on the football field that it's like you would think that it would naturally be able to do this, but I mean it's not. So, which again, I love the process of it. So it's all good.
Do you practice like that the jump where you have to hit those little colored things? Do you practice
the vertical
that?
jump. Yeah, we do
the
practice
vertical
that a
jump.
lot. Yeah, it's nice for sure because I mean everyone says they got hops and they could dunk a basketball, but I mean it's not until you have to go out there and do it that you're like, oh wow, okay, I can improve a lot in this area. And it's great week in and week out seeing all of your numbers kind of dwindle down and kind of just go and get closer to your goal. So it's nice.
We're talking to Marcus Harper II, getting ready to leaving Oregon onto the next level, which is the pros. We talked about, the combine. How do you get prepared mentally? It's a totally different world you're about ready to enter.
Yeah, no, it is different for sure. One of my best things I've been able to do is get around some guys who've been through this process before. So I'm training out in Knoxville right now with Lee Smith and Rodney Hudson and John Feliciano. So some very big tenure guys in the NFL, some guys who've been there for a long time. And, they've had their personal experiences and just being able to get underneath their wings and just talk to them about everything that's throughout this process because it's a big gap between January and April, and a lot of things can happen in between that time, from invites and not being invited, all these different, variants. And it's just like, it's a lot of emotions because, you go from, okay, you know what you want to be. And then I guess the reality of things like hitting you dead in your face is like, is this all a facade? Like, what was I thinking?
Sure.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, but I try my best not to focus on what I can't control and just focus on what I can control.
I've done a lot of NFL player shows and et cetera, and we talk about when you get to the NFL, and it's still same with college.
Yeah.
You're told where to go, you're told where to be.
Yes.
The difference is as a collegiate athlete, you still have at some schools class to go to and things like that. Once you get to the NFL, it's now on you.
Yes.
Once it's on you to make sure. I'm sure you're prepared. How do you get prepared for that?
Yeah, you just find any, I would say, weakness in your habits early as possible. The great part about being in Oregon, you had to figure out a process that worked for you because you had no choice but to come in on a daily basis and dominate. So you had to figure out the habits of other guys and kind of see what worked for you, what didn't work. Okay, this doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to scratch that for this season and try this again for next season. So you kind of find a little bit of a recipe. The thing is now is like all of the minute things like waking up at a certain time and going to this, how do you alter that? Because, again, you don't have anyone hold you accountable to, like, be there. Again, you have, like, a time, but those small things is what, makes people slip and, drop.
So you're reevaluating yourself each time.
Yes, yeah. And it's good because I was forced to by going out to Oregon at such a young age. Like, I was a 3-star coming out of high school, which, take that as you may, but I wasn't
it's
one of
3 stars.
Yeah. But I wasn't one of these like 5-star highly touted guys that were coming out of college. Coming out of high school. So I had to consistently reinvent myself from spring ball to, training camp to all these different variants just to make sure I always was ahead of everyone else, just so whenever my moment came,
you're ready.
I was ready. Yeah. Exactly. So I didn't have the luxury of like, relying on, 5-star, he'll get it together. Now I had to work and earn and see, okay, does this work for me? Okay, no, scratch that. Does this work for me? No, scratch that. And just keep climbing to get, to where I'm at today.
And what were some of the things that actually worked for you?
Yeah.
Changed?
It was really just a dieting, figuring out how to increase cardio by not beating up your joints. I think a lot of the misconception with my position is that like, kind of like just big guys who can't move. My game is a little bit different. I'm a big guy and I can move. So figuring out what ways that you can increase your cardio and things like that, but don't have to beat up on your joints because our joints are everything. So it was figuring that out. Figuring out what small things I could start implementing now so that way when I get to where I want to get to, that's not the first time I'm having to implement that. So I was reaching out to guys. I worked a lot over the last year with guys in Texas Trenches Live. So Jonathan Hadnot Jr., he got drafted early 2000s in 6th round by the Dolphins, but he produced Kelvin Banks. Kelvin Banks Jr. was at Texas. And so getting under his tutelage and seeing, okay, what are some things that I can add to my game right now so that way when I get to the NFL, I've already done this before, right? So I wish I would have had him a lot earlier in college, but I'm glad I got him when I got him because, again, these habits, a lot of guys don't think about it from that perspective, and so I just did.
Let me ask you this question, and I know we're not supposed to use the word hazing, so maybe
Yeah.
more tradition.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
if that's, we're all ex-military,
Tradition.
well, in the politically
basically what it-
correct,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So what is
Welcoming.
all right, what is the welcoming things, the traditions in college, and to get you prepared? Because there's some stuff that, as a rookie, and we had Martin Gramatica here. I'll tell you the quick story again. So Martin Gramatica forgot on a Saturday to bring the rookie breakfast for the team.
Okay.
And which is a no-no.
Yeah.
And part of the rule was in Tampa that you cannot go to the caterer, who
yeah,
would always
yeah,
bring
yeah,
our food.
right.
Well, Martin forgot. He brought the catering, and they went to go do some of the traditions.
Yes.
And Warren Sapp said, absolutely not. You do not touch him. He is our offense. I have his back. So nothing happened.
Yes.
So I'm curious, what happens in the collegiate level and at Oregon?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's not much that we can do. Like, honestly, our tradition.
That you can talk about on the
Yeah,
air.
but no, there wasn't nothing that we did that was like grotesque or anything like that. We for sure made sure the guys got in, got real comfortable quick. But the one thing that was mandatory, you have to sing. So if you're let me get a timetable. If you're a summer enrollee, so that's around March. That's around like let's say end of April, early May. If you're a summer enrollee, you have from May all the way up until the end of training camp, which is in middle of August, to sing a song. So
sing a song.
So at any moment, I call you up to the stage. Like we're in a team meeting room. I call you up to the stage. You have to sing a song, and you can't give me no BS like
Twinkle, twinkle, little star
no,
or
I
something.
need like I want Jodeci. Give me New Edition. Give me Frank Sinatra. Give me something that's like quality. Like I've been here for a while. This is your, I guess your role, your debt to pay to us is like, okay, just sing a song. And I mean, I wanted to implement this last year because, okay, look, it's no question that a lot of these guys that are coming in are highly touted guys and they're getting NIL money. I thought a lot of guys thought that it was okay that they can deny that you sing, and I'm like, it doesn't work that way. Like you're a freshman. Like I'm not saying like I'm gonna control you, but bro, like the least you could do right now is just get up and sing a song. Like it doesn't, it's
It doesn't even have to
It's
be
part of
good.
the-
and it doesn't even have to be. I'm not asking you to sound like Chris Brown, and I'm not asking you to sound like like Taylor Swift. I'm asking you to sing a song,
Yeah.
maybe 10 to 15 seconds, and
Oh,
that's
that's it?
It's not. It's not. Give me a little bit of the
Right.
chorus.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys are just like, no, I didn't want to do this. And if you didn't, you got sent to the corner and just turned around. And a lot of guys started copping out, and they just didn't want to do it. And I'm like, all right, bro.
You
But
can, you
yeah,
can
that's
football. You can do. Come on, if that is the hazing,
that's what I'm saying. Your hazing is
Tradition.
the same. Yeah,
Tradition.
Yeah,
What-
your
no,
tradition is the
but
same.
me and
Yeah.
Randy, we come from the hazing, the
Yeah.
actual
Oh,
hazing
yes.
generation.
Oh,
You know,
Yeah, military, there's hazing. dude.
that's really nice. Like
Yes.
sing us a song. I mean,
That's-
goodness,
that's-
I want
and
to be around with your buddies. My
And it's
goodness.
very lightweight. Like I'm not in the song. You can't curse in the song. Like it's a very like
Love that.
lightweight
I
environment.
don't think anybody knew because I always said
That's
I
so
was going to
West
go.
Coast.
I was
Yeah.
going to go out, the easy way. I'll do
Yeah.
the national anthem.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's only 50. I can learn any 15 seconds.
So what did you sing? More
Uh,
importantly,
let's hear it.
And let's hear it, man.
I
Okay, coming
sang-
down in 3, 2, give it to us.
Candy girl,
Yeah.
oh my world, you look so sweet. You're a special treat. Yeah, so I sang some New Edition.
That's
and I-
good.
and
I
that
think-
sounded awesome.
and that's
Bobby,
good. Thank
you
you.
put down some Bobby Brown.
And I think
Good old school.
your best bet is just to embrace it. And I think those are the guys who like take it the best. Who like, if you want to sing, now I don't want to call on you. 'Cause,
Right,
like, you're
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
People don't realize
yeah,
that.
yeah. If you just embrace it, it's gonna make it a lot less painful for you. Like
Yeah.
if you just embrace the fact that you just have to sing,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot better for you versus if you try to run away and be like, oh, I don't want to sing, or you try to hide. Like we're gonna find you. Like
It's the respect factor.
Yeah.
You went, you did what's expected of you.
Yes,
You
yes.
didn't weasel out. You didn't
Yeah.
know whatever weasel,
Yeah.
whether it's the right
And
or
it
wrong
was
word.
something
But
that was nice. It wasn't like you were like getting your crap beat out of you. Or
Yeah,
you
that's what
know,
I'm saying,
Having
yeah.
to run around with a diaper on
Yeah.
down the street. You know what I'm saying?
and kind of like you said, I'm that type of guy where I'm like, all right, I'm ready to sing, which
Yeah.
you and I both know means
Yeah.
I'm not singing
Yeah.
because you don't
Yeah.
you don't want to mess with that guy. He's
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So what else? Is there any others? Is that
that was honestly, but like so that tradition lasts for all the way throughout the summer. Like you had to kind of sing essentially on command, and then we went to like kind of like our end of the camp. I don't want to say banquet, but like a dinner or whatever, and you kind of sang at a house, and if you didn't sing, you couldn't eat, and you had to go through like you had to sing, and so it's kind of hard with transfers. Guys are like, because you can kind of bully freshmen out of you.
Yeah,
can-
yeah,
you can
yeah,
bully
yeah,
freshmen.
right.
But when you get Dylan Gabriel, who's a sixth year, and he's
Yeah.
23, and I'm 22, 21, and I'm like, hey, bro, like, you got to sing. I don't care if you're the quarterback, bro, you got to sing.
Yeah.
And so there'd be guys who were just like, they thought they could weasel it out But it's a council of us. We would just sit there and we would have the sheet of all the newcomers, and it's
Yeah.
every newcomer, whether you're a coach, and we've had some coaches repeat. Yeah.
What's the most memorable moment? I want you to share that. And it could be bad, you know.
Yeah. There was a guy who his name was Isaiah Brevard, and and there's another rule: if someone steals your song, you can't song repeat.
Oh,
So guys,
That's
so
tough.
it's in your best bet to go early. Get out the,
Yeah,
get the song
right,
out the way
right,
early.
right.
Okay, cool. You get to like guys who are got to run around and they're on the second and third go round. They hug the tree. They're hungry. Everyone's about to leave, and it's like, bro, you don't get back on the bus until you sing. So then there was a guy, Isaiah Brevard. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and he just came out and started singing Michael Jackson or whatever. Actually, there was another guy. I'm sorry. His name was Dylan Gresham. I know you're going to kill me if you ever hears this. Dylan Gresham, he was a freshman wide receiver last year. And Dylan has dreads. I think he dyed his dreads a little bit red. And I think for one of our acts, that's another tradition. We'll talk about that another time. He came and he dressed as Sexy Red. And so I said, Dylan, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, Dylan, if you say get it sexy, I will clap you off. Because again, if you're a singer, you have your authority. I said, Dylan, if you get up here and sing get it sexy, I said, I will
man.
clap you off right now. And he did it. And I was like, bro, I said, now you look less of a man because you said
Oh,
in front of us, but, you know.
turned
But,
on him.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah.
Anybody sing some Tay Tay?
No one sings no Say Tay.
Or Tata.
Yeah, it was most people it's not in this. You got a lot of songs to pick from, and
Sure.
I don't like the guys like cop. I don't know this song. You better start learning.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
20 seconds.
It's 20
Anybody
seconds,
can
Come on,
earn-
and it's not even that. It's really like
It's respect.
it's respect. Like it's more so
And
about
it's
that.
polite respect. It's fun
Yeah.
respect,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Have you thought about now what's next? Because the rookie dinner,
Yeah.
I'm sure I get upset because
Yeah.
I know I won't say names to protect the guilty.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it's just ridiculous that there was a Tampa Bay Buccaneer
Right.
that bought or took, because he didn't pay for it,
Yeah.
not one, but $2,000 bottles of wine.
Okay.
And, you know, some players are like, hey, it's part of the deal. To me, that bothers me.
No, all right. So
Yeah, I don't like that.
It depends on the financial situation.
Yeah.
But here's my initial thought process.
I don't even think that should come into play.
So here's my thought process with it. I have no problem doing the rookie dinner because I'm not gonna be that that asshole rookie that doesn't want to comply. I'm not gonna do that.
Sure.
But
Payback's hell.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm not gonna do that. But you're not gonna take advantage of like rookie dinner.
Yeah.
So like, everything is respect because it's a respect thing
Sure.
too. Like
Sure.
at some point there's a fine line between like, okay, this is Ricky Hayes, and now you're just butchering the idea of like, okay, I'm a rookie or whatever. This is for us here. So these are for the guys that are here in this room, whatever. If you want to take like extras, that's not
And
on
they
me.
do. And they
Yeah,
do.
but that's not on me. If you want to take extras to go home and things like, is it okay? Respectfully, no, it's not okay.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you want to pay for something extra, that's on your dime.
Yeah.
Or if I got to put a tab down and you're gonna run the tab out, cool, and then go from there. That's my initial thought process with that because I'm like, you're not about to run up my check like.
Yeah, and
20.
they can afford it so easily. Where plus not to say you're a rookie, you don't know if you're going to get hurt.
Yeah,
You know, and now
yeah.
you just put you don't know.
Yeah.
NFL not for long.
That's
You know.
and I get I get everything from I get the Saturday, the Friday meals. Those are okay, but that rookie dinner, I get it. Like, there's a little bit of parameters, and just don't butcher it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know what it was like to be a rookie. Don't be bitter.
Yeah.
Don't just
Yeah.
work with us here. We'll
Yeah.
we'll make it a fun time too. Like I'm not, it's gonna be a nice show.
It's supposed to, yeah.
Yeah, you know what
like
I'm
I said, I'm the outsider. I'm friends with a lot of Tampa Bay Buccaneers and players and such. And it's
Yeah.
like, how does that not bother you? And they're like,
Yeah.
well, yep, they took some home. They did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you let that
Yeah.
happen?
If you, I would have look.
But you're the rookie. I don't know how much you can really.
I think it's just a matter of respect that you like just earn too. Like
Right.
it's a give and take. I would hope a lot of guys could like gauge it, but like don't try to run up my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
now like you know.
But you're
it's-
not only that, you're not going to forget it, and this is going to be something where you're just like, that guy's a jerk.
Yeah.
Like you might be friends with him, but inside you didn't forget what happened, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
just don't agree with it. It's
Yeah.
not really ethical, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you're sitting here and you reflect,
Yeah.
everything that you did in high school, everything you did in college,
Yeah.
is it a pinch moment that the combine's around the corner? What's next? That three-letter word, NFL's
Yeah,
soon?
because like for so many years, like when I got playing football my freshman year of high school, I was like, I just want to go to college, man. Like I'm happy to just go to college for free. You know, football was the avenue that was chosen. And then when I got to college, I was like, okay, let me just try to start for real. Like, let me just try to get on the scene and do, whatever. And then as you inch closer and closer, and then it started hitting you when you see guys like, you see Bo Nix, you see Troy Franklin. It's like, oh, I played on the field with them. I was right next to him. Okay, then you see another guy, you see JPJ, and you see, all these different guys. You're like, okay, now my time is here. And it's a surreal moment, but I've prepped so much that it's like, it's almost like another moment in a sense.
How making that change? Because as you said that, my younger brother, all he wanted to do was the free education. We didn't have much money, and he played at Alabama baseball.
Yeah.
And he was the SEC, this leader, that leader. And then when teams wanted to draft him, he's like, no. All I wanted was the education.
Yeah.
I'll find. I don't want to ride, but baseball's different. You ride buses, minor leagues, all that kind of stuff. Walk me through the process of. You said I want the education. Well, now you want what's next.
Yeah, I kind of got bit by the football bug because again, when I got into football, like I didn't choose football. Like football chose me. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, you would ask me anytime prematurely before the age of 14, football was not something that I talked about doing. I thought I was going to be a lawyer. Like that's what my mindset.
You still can be.
Yeah. But that's initially where I was like, okay, where are you going to college to do? Okay, I'm gonna take a lot of high classes and let's make sure I can get to college for free.
Yeah.
And try to go to law school. Like that's where my mindset was at. And then I pulled one time against Carl Sandburg out in Illinois, and I got that itch. And then it was like, okay, this is something that you're good at, and everybody wants to be good at sports. Like just natural. I would assume it's a natural itch to want to be good at sports. And in my first year, I was like, okay, you could really make something of this. And then I put that every other
this was in
sport.
high school?
This was in high school, yeah.
Yeah.
My first year ever playing football.
Oh, well, and what grade were you in?
Freshman year of high school.
Okay, so you came in. Okay.
Yeah, and then the next year, I was on varsity my sophomore year. And I'm like, oh, so this ascension is fairly quick.
Yeah.
Then I didn't even start my sophomore year, and I get 3 offers in the offseason to Western Michigan, Cincinnati, and Toledo. So the college education piece is like, all right, you got that. Like, now it's about, okay, do you want to just – what's the pride level? Okay, do you want to just go and just be another player? Do you want to be dominant? And when I saw how early and I looked at the landscape, I was like, okay, you could really make something of this. Let's go for domination. So then that's kind of where like the itch and the urge to want to be great in football kind of came from. It's just like looking around and seeing how dominant I could be.
What made
When you said everybody wants to be, good at sports, I went out for my high school football team, never played football.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the damn clap down.
Yeah.
So I didn't stay out there.
Yeah. And I think
When he says he went out, he was knocked out. He showed up and they knocked him
No,
out.
I was going the easy route. I was going to be a punter. I thought I'm going to be a punter, and I could never and I could never get it down. I'm like, take my helmet and my sticker off the helmet. I'm done.
I mean, it was that talk about that transition. It was like I couldn't even put into words like how it happened or what it just
did.
It just did. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed because I look at a lot of guys who started a little bit later and their route was a little bit more conventional or unconventional. And I'm just like I'm in a very, very blessed position. So yeah.
There's certain questions that I like to ask when I find out where people are from and their background. So Chicago.
Yes.
So White Sox or Cubs?
Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
How bad do you not like the White Sox?
It's not. I don't like the White Sox so bad. I just very, very much like the Cubs. Yeah.
Okay. How much do you dislike the St. Louis Cardinals? Prerequisite.
Yeah. I mean, they're. Next question.
Okay. The Bears.
Yeah, I talked about this a lot. It would be almost like a fairy tale to kind of go back and get drafted to the Bears. I know they need some help on offensive line, and I know. But
You think?
Wouldn't that be a lot of pressure though as well? Now you've already said you like that. You like the the pressure. You like the be in the boot kind of thing, which you wouldn't necessarily be in Chicago.
Yeah.
But that's your hometown, and now you're playing.
Yeah, I mean that's.
It's going to cost you a lot of tickets.
What other reason do you play sports for? You know what I'm saying? Like that pressure of knowing, like, okay, am I prepared to dominate in this moment, or do I got to go back to the drawing board and figure something else out? So a lot of people shy away from it. I run to it a lot, and I think I've gotten so used to it that sometimes like it doesn't even phase. Like it doesn't truly phase me. I've been in a lot of heated moments, fairly, bullets flying.
What's up with no ketchup on hot dogs, right? What's the deal with that in
I
Chicago?
like ketchup on my hot dog. I do ketchup, mustard, and relish. I know that now. That's when you get to that combo. There's a lot of people who aren't, pro relish. They're anti relish, pro mustard. I'm a honey mustard guy. I don't like Dijon. That tang and Dijon, I'm not a big fan of.
Right.
I do honey.
I like the spicy one, but I know,
Really?
I like real.
Interesting. I'm
Yeah.
not a big. I can tolerate spice. It's not my go-to. I can tolerate it. It's not my.
I went to the one Biggie one in Chicago,
Yeah.
and now I don't like ketchup.
Yeah.
But me being me,
Yeah.
and you'll get to know me,
Yeah.
I wanted ketchup
Yeah.
because you're not allowed to have ketchup.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like they give you that look, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, try to order something wrong in Philadelphia.
Oh gosh.
Go get to a cheesesteak at Pat's or Geno's.
I gotta go to Philly. I've never tried a Philly cheesesteak before. I gotta get out there and try me some.
It's overrated.
No,
Really?
No, hold on.
It's overrated.
She's just trying to take me off. I was born in Philly. I was just in Philly.
yeah.
I'll tell you the right places to go in
Okay.
Philly.
Uh-huh.
The problem is when a tourist goes to Philly, where do they go? I just said it, Pat and Geno's.
Yeah.
They're not, in my opinion,
They're not.
they're not.
go-to.
Yeah, it's
I
the
don't
tourist
like them.
trap.
It's because they're messy. They can't. If they could make a clean, like one that's just not going to get over everything.
Well, okay, is that not part of the experience?
It is.
Though?
It is.
Oh man, then
It's-
you may enjoy it.
Because it's the same thing with the deep dish pizza. Like everyone talks about the grease and all these other things.
I use a fork. It's amazing.
Okay, yeah, but is that not? See, I don't do a fork.
I do a
Is the
fork.
thing is it not a part of the experience to get your hand in on the crust
Right.
and like pull it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think it's about the experience,
Yeah.
especially if you're a tourist. Like I think you gotta get into the culture as quick.
And a
as
deep
possible.
dish pizza I get though, but that
Yeah.
is something that's something
yeah.
that falls everywhere.
And no, I get that though
Yeah.
too. I don't want to be walking around. I got
Yeah,
stuff
man.
just falling all. Yeah,
We
okay.
could talk forever. I'd love to keep
Yeah.
in touch. I want to keep you on. But instead of singing, if you get drafted by the Bears,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to go, you're the rookie, I'm not. I've been
Yeah.
on the air for 40 years.
Yeah.
I want you to do some portion of the Super Bowl shuffle at some point. Have you ever, I'm sure you've seen it.
I've seen it. I don't know if I'm.
Classic.
I've
You
got
don't
it
have
for
to
it.
sing the
Yeah.
funky QB part, but at least some part of that.
Who's your all-time favorite for the Bears too?
Devin Hester.
Okay.
Devin Hester.
All right.
Yeah.
Good one.
I would say 1A would be Brian Urlacher for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with. I almost got beat up by Dick Butkus.
Yeah. What did you do? What happened?
So I had a friend because he
Yeah.
has since passed away.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the story and see if you're going to figure out who this is.
Got you.
So Dick Butkus hated a particular Green Bay Packer.
Got you.
Okay, and this particular was a good friend of mine.
Got you.
And so
Those are never good stories.
no, it never starts.
it's already going down.
It was Ray Nitschke. I
Gotcha.
mean, Ray Nitschke, the legend. They were compared a lot.
Yeah.
They both were gritty and dirty's not the right word, but
yeah.
whatever that word, physical.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Dick Butkus was late for an autograph signing. And I was getting a helmet for a charity event for the
Got it.
Marty Lyons Foundation.
Okay.
I waited the hour and a half. Typically, I wouldn't have waited.
Yeah.
But it was something that we really wanted.
Yes.
I am semi-intelligent,
Yeah.
so I waited until the helmet got signed.
Got you.
And then as I walked away, I said, Ray Nitschke would have never been late.
Oh my.
That's actually smart. Yeah. Because if you would have said it prematurely, you would have wasted an hour. And
Exactly.
You're smart. Yeah, it's smart
Exactly.
thinking.
Before we let you go, how can people stay in touch? Are you on X?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All you young guys.
It's Twitter. I don't care what no one says.
Okay.
It's still Twitter. You can follow me on my Instagram, Big Mark73_. My Twitter is Marcus2_H. I had a Big Mark show that I did, so I'm gonna look to continue that in the foreseeable future. So I'll be happy to have you guys back on, and we'll talk further.
Yeah, I would definitely like that. Do you
Yeah,
already have
great.
your rookie song? Do you know what you're going to sing when you have to do it in the pros?
I got a couple. I'm a big Chris Brown fan and Michael Jackson fan. I got some Lil Wayne in there.
What's your favorite Michael Jackson?
Butterflies.
Oh,
It's
is
a
that
nice,
right?
underrated Michael Jackson song that no one
I
talks
don't
about.
know that I know that song.
All you got
what
to
year? Like,
do-
is he a
it's on the Invincible album.
So he was in his late
Yeah, he was in
2030s.
the- yeah.
This is, okay.
Shows you how bad I am. When you said Invincible, you didn't say album yet.
You thought Philly. You
I thought the football movie. Invincible. I'm like, wait a second, that was in the movie.
Yeah, the Invincible movie. Butterflies was on the Invincible album. I think that was. I'm about to play the song right
like
here.
his mid-90s.
That's 20. Well,
Was it 20?
no, I like Indispensable Collection. So it's a collection of all his things, but it came out in 2012. So, but yeah, Butterflies.
Butterfly. I gotta look that up.
That's my go-to every time I'm on the plane. I listen to Butterflies. so.
Let me see what team I don't want you to go to because I don't want to become I'm not really a fan because of what I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
But there's some teams that I could.
Dallas. Please don't go to Dallas.
I just whatever team that I really don't like,
Yeah.
don't go to that team because then I'm going to have to follow them and
that
I'm
would
going to
be-
have to come
yeah.
cover them and all that kind of stuff. Absolute cool stuff. Marcus
Yeah.
Harper, thank you very much. Let's stay in touch.
Absolutely.
And best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
There you have it.
Oh, man. That was great. Thanks for having me.
Well, and Leslie just she's been involved with me for a long time.
Yes.
I don't call them interviews.
Yeah.
I hate, and it's not an interview.